Okay, we're gonna deal with, last time I left off, we're gonna deal with the 7th chords with minor to minor chromatic mediants and the types of extensions and the effect it will have on the sound. This is important to learn because it's gonna have a completely different sound depending on what you do. And so we're gonna I didn't want to turn this into a course on upper extensions, so you should probably know these, but we're gonna start with the major 7th, minor major 7th chords. Very unsettling sound with the 9, with the 11, and the flat 13, okay? And usually you'll find this and you don't actually need all the tones when you're doing that. You could just use a 7th and a flat 13. Major 7th and flat 13. Very unsettling sound. And you'll notice this will fit harmonic minor. Okay. I realize these chords are not for everybody, but here's something I want to point out. The minor major 7th, if you look at it as a minor chord with an augmented chord, then you'll notice that it occurs naturally in 3 different keys. It's the 3rd chord of C harmonic minor. It's also the third chord of E harmonic minor. Same set of notes, 2, 3. Invert it, they're the same exact notes, respelled. 3 chord of E harmonic minor, which would make it the 3 chord of A flat harmonic minor or G sharp harmonic minor. So it's common to all 3. And it creates that minor major 7th sound if you just use that one augmented chord. That's a little trick you could use. So going between chromatic mediants, I might just pulse something like this. C minor, E minor, A flat minor. Just kind of breaking out of that tenseness. So that's a little trick with the minor major 7th chords. You don't have to move many notes. So let's use a minor major 7th with a flat 13, okay? I know these chords aren't going to be for everybody, but people want to get into film composing and stuff. These are tools you can use. So we're going to do a C flat 13 and then an E minor major 7th. C flat 13. A flat minor major 7th. So do something like this, very tense. So ways to create tenseness, sometimes even orchestrated, right? That stuff like that can sound mysterious. So okay, one of the most common things are the ones built off the flat 7. People just like the sound, they think it's more pleasant, so then the raised 7th. And then 9, 11, 13, regular 13. So compare the difference between that and the flat 13, it's way less tense. So, and you notice with that raised 13th, they probably use something like Dorian on it, most likely, and not Aeolian or harmonic minor. So let's deal with the flat 7 first. This has got a very pleasant sound to it. People seem to really like this sound. So, but if we do a normal chromatic mediant shift with just minor triads to G minor to B minor or to D minor, just with basic triads, it sounds very mysterious and dark, but when we add that flat 7, it kind of tames it out. Listen to the difference. So it's a much tamer sound. It doesn't sound nearly as dark now when I do the same harmonic sequence with the flat 7. So what we're going to do something like this. C minor 7th, E minor 7th, G minor 7th, B minor 7th, to D minor 7th. Chromatic mediant chain there. We're going to do it like this. C flat 7, E with the 5th in the bass with a flat 7, G with the 3rd in the bass and the flat 7, B with the 7th in the bass, okay? Now D, flat 7 with the 5th in the bass, and then break out maybe at that point. Maybe just treat it like D Dorian. Okay, so doing that musically, just listen to the effect this has. Break out. So it actually sounds very pleasant when I do that same chromatic mediant sequence that way. So let's deal with the 13th. You could use some form of Dorian, maybe go to E 13 and use Dorian again. So that has actually a very pleasant sound to it. So compare this to this, the basic triads. Basic triads sound very dark and mysterious. The raised 13th flat 7 does not. Now again, we're going back to Aeolian. That is again got that flat 13. Again, that's kind of tense sound, just tense sounding. So very unsettling again. So I gotta resize this. So the flat 13 would actually naturally occur in Aeolian, natural minor, whatever you want to call it. I'm not real picky about names. So sometimes we could use it. It's technically the flat 6, but you could still call it, I mean, if you really want to say flat 13. This is a very common voicing like this with that. So you could use that and then a shift to E minor with the flat 6 or flat 13, whatever you want to say. I just want to show you how you can use it. So Aeolian to Aeolian with the flat 6 or flat 13, it doesn't really matter what you call it. It's still the same note. So, okay, we're going to go to this where we have it. The instance where a sharp 11 can occur would be with a Dorian sharp 4. Okay. So, and again, that produces a very unsettling effect even with the raised or the regular 13. Maybe we could create a sequence with E sharp 11 flat 7, C sharp 11 flat 7. Just this move, okay? But with those two, with the 7th and the upper extension. So you could do something like this. Using kind of that Dorian sharp 4 with those chords on each chromatic mediant shift. So I wanted to move back to the not the flat 13, the regular 13. And the use of Dorian. Dorian doesn't always have to sound bright. You just kind of use this add 9 sequence. Maybe we'll go add 9 on C, add 9 on E flat, add 9, then add 9 on E. And we'll stick in that that regular 13th. Possible you could use Dorian on this. And this doesn't sound very pleasant when I do it like this. I mean, it sounds kind of tense. 13. Broken out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop. So with that kind of movement, the notes of the Dorian, at least with the raised 6 or the 13th, whatever you want to call it, doesn't sound as pleasant with that when the specific way we executed it with the add 9 in there. So add 2, add 9, same thing. So don't get overly complex with naming schemes. It's literally the same thing. So add 9, add 2. So yeah, just notice the kind of effects certain types of sevenths and extensions have on chromatic mediant shifts, and it's going to produce tenseness, or it'll just, with basic triads, it'll be dark, mysterious. With minor, major, seventh type chords, it'll be very tense. With sharp 11s, it'll be very tense. But with just flat sevenths and stuff, and regular 13ths, etc., it actually sounds kind of pleasant sometimes, most of the time. It tames it out. So just notice the effect that each one has, so you don't have to dig for a sound for one.